everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk with Val, and I am Valerie. I hope you guys are doing well out there. I am doing well. And today, I'm going to talk about the justice system. Just a small portion of the justice system. As far as pertaining to an experience that I've had concerning the police department. And at the end, I'm going to tell you why I'm telling you this story about the police department, or about my run-in with those that are sworn to protect and serve. So, last year, I had a car accident. I was in a car accident. I actually was going to an appointment, and on my way to that appointment, I was getting ready to turn in to the business, and a car shot from out of nowhere, trying to go around me on a 2-lane street. So, when he went around the car that was behind me, he hit the front part of my car, right by the wheel. So the hubcap went flying. It knocked the bumper off. Okay. But I was fine. I got out of the car and everything. Now, this is the weird part. So, as I was standing there, a police officer passed right by me. He didn't stop. He didn't say anything. He just passed right by me. Now, you might say, well, hey, maybe he was going to another scene, maybe. But I'm just thinking, like, but if it was an emergency, because, you know, they get the calls and everything on the walkie-talkie or whatever you want to call it, the radio, then you would think, like, if it was an emergency, he'd had his lights on and he'd been going really fast. Because I've seen police officers out on the road, you know, when there's a really bad car accident, and they come plowing down the street with their lights on and everything to let everybody know there's something serious that has happened and I'm trying to get there. That wasn't the case, though. This police officer, like, literally, he was cruising like he chilling on a Sunday. And he wasn't going fast or anything. He passed right by my car. And the car that hit me, it hit me and it didn't stay right there. It pulled on down the street. He didn't even stop to see if that person was okay. He just cruised on down the street like it was nothing. Like, I could have been laying in the car or laying on the ground or laying wherever dead or like seriously hurt. So my thing about it is, even if he was going to another scene, don't you think, and I'm just asking, you guys can put some, you can comment it down in the comment section, but don't you think that a person that's sworn to serve and protect, don't you think they would have stopped and said, well, hey, miss, are you okay? Or to make sure that I was alive, or to just see if I was hurt, or say anything, you know? Like, even if he couldn't stop and maybe he was en route to another accident, something like that, don't you just think he would have, because I was standing right there by the car, don't you think he would have just let his window, matter of fact, his window was down, don't you think he would have said something just to make sure that I was okay? I mean, we had people, there were people, the business where I was getting ready to turn into, they came out and everything and trying to see, they were asking me if I was okay, and I was telling them, yeah, I'm okay. But don't you think the police officer should have did that? I'm just saying. Just being not only a person that's supposed to serve and protect, but just being a human being, a compassionate human being. Like, it's your job to make sure that we're safe. And he didn't even stop to ask me if I was okay. It was just like there were other people that were just going down, passing the accident, which is understandable. But don't you think, like, the police officer shouldn't have been one of those people? He should have been like, well, hey, are you okay? Are you okay, miss? I'm just saying that's what I would have done. Just because of the fact that I'm compassionate. Just because of the fact that if I was him and I am here to protect and make sure that the citizens are safe, I would have asked a question or a couple of questions. And then when I said that I was okay, then he could have kept going. He didn't even have to he could just stop right there and just ask the question and kept going, And so there was another police officer that came after. And even that, like, even if he couldn't have stopped, he could have said, well, you know what, ma'am, I'm not able to stop right now, but you're okay. But there is another police officer en route to this accident. He could have did that. But he didn't do anything. He didn't say anything. He didn't do anything. He's just like, I don't see you. This is like a blind eye. And I just thought that was very weird. But anyway, so then a police officer came and, we did all the paperwork and all that good stuff. And so I mentioned it to him like, sir, there was another police officer that just passed right by the accident. And he didn't even ask me if I was okay. And I could have been hurt. I could have been dead. And he didn't even have the compassion to even stop to ask if I was okay, or ask the other person that was in the accident if they were okay. And he said something like, he didn't say, well, like, ma'am, you're right, he shouldn't have done that. He just said something to the degree like, I'm gonna bring it up. You know how they say, I'm gonna bring it up in the meeting, and we're gonna bring it in some kind of way. I just felt like, no, you're not. But that was just my feeling. Maybe he did, I don't know. I just felt like he was just covering. But anyway, I told him I just thought that was weird. And he was like, well, ma'am, maybe he was en route to another accident. Sometimes they're en route to, but sir, even if he was, but if he's supposed to make sure that citizens are safe, don't you think he would have took a split second just to see if I was okay? When he was passing right by the car, like literally, these were small lanes. My car was in the middle lane. It was a 2-lane, a lane going that way, a lane coming this way, and then like a little short middle lane to turn up into the business. Okay. So he had to pass right by. He was like right there. Literally, if he'd have got out of his car, he had to take a couple of steps and he'd have been in my car. That's how close it was. So that means that he could have said anything to me to make sure I was okay. And of course, like, the police officer that I was talking to, he's made an excuse, but at the end of the day, it's no excuse for that. It's no excuse for it. And I was thinking about this earlier because I was saying to myself, it's kind of like when you go through the drive-thru and then it's this person that's over the intercom and you can tell that they have an attitude with you. And it's really not with you, but it's with whatever they got going on, but it's sounding like it's coming, that it's directed towards you. Some people don't need to be in the customer service window. Some people don't need to be serving the public. I'm just saying, if you get out of the drive-thru and maybe you need to be in the back flipping burgers. And there's no offense to anybody that's flipping burgers at all. But I'm making a point that if your job is to serve the public, then serve the public. Okay? Everybody's not meant to do certain things. If you don't want to serve and protect the people, then you don't need to be in the position that you're in. And let me just say this. This is not directed towards every police officer or anyone that's, whether it's a sheriff or a mayor or a governor or whatever, in whatever position. It's not directed towards everyone. Because understand that it's good and bad in everything. But the thing about that is, it don't take but a couple of bad apples to make the whole force look bad. And I've heard more than one story where the police officer is not doing his job. I was speaking to someone and they were telling me about their situation and how they got in an accident and everything. and how the police officer was talk to the person that hit her, that was trying to get away from the scene. He talked to this person, she said, for 2 hours. And she said, and then talked to her for like 15 minutes. Like, don't you think it's so weird about that? Like, if you're talking to the person that committed the crime for 2 hours, what y'all talking about? That's what I'm talking about. What you talking about? Then don't you think that the person that actually got hurt, that's who you should be talking to? I'm saying, if you're going to be talking to somebody, talking to one of them for 2 hours, don't you think it should be the person that's hurt versus the one that committed the crime? I'm just saying, I'm just saying, maybe something wrong with me. But I'm just throwing that disclaimer out there that this is not directed towards every police officer, every sheriff, every anyone. It's only pertaining to a few. But it only takes a few to make everyone look bad. And I'm just like, it's just like when there's a crime committed and the police officer comes out, don't you think it's something wrong with the fact that the person that the crime been committed against know more about the law and about what should take place in this scenario more than the police officer? Some people out here do know their rights. But as a person that's supposed to be in a leadership position, don't you think that if it's your job to make sure the citizens are safe and to protect them and to serve them, don't you think that you should be giving them all the information, whatever information that they need at the time, or at the scene of the crime, whatever it may be? But I'm just speaking about, like my car accident, and then another person that I know that was in a car accident. And then I know someone else that, they were in a situation where somebody knocked the back of their window out, and so when the police officer came out, it was like, she said that it was like he didn't even care. That she said she was telling him what should be done. She said it was like he was a police officer in a uniform, but he wasn't really a police officer, because she said he didn't know anything. And it's just like, there's some weird stuff going on. Now, either there's some weird stuff going on, or some of these police officers, not all of them, they need to go back to school. Okay? Because sometimes it's just like this. It's just like when you go to school and then it's been a while, and sometimes you need to kind of go back to, refresh. Like, it's something out there that need to go back and refresh. But even beyond that right there, it's like, where is the compassion? Like, don't be more, if it's your job to serve and protect, then do that. Like, when you're giving people half of this and half of that, and not telling them their rights and what they should do, and you're acting like you don't care, and I just showed up because, I got a uniform on, but I don't know what's going on. And if I do know what's going on, I don't really care that much. You know what I'm saying? People feel that. It's people feeling that right now. They're police officers. I'm just saying police officers because I'm just saying that's what I've dealt with. Like, they don't care. It's just like, oh, I'm just trying to get a paycheck. And let me just say once again, because I'm going to keep saying this, because people will get offended and they'll say, you shouldn't be judging, the police officers. Now, but one thing we understand, that in anything is good and bad. So you got your good police officers, and then you got your bad police officers, or negative police officers. And it's just what it is. Like, let's just be real. Look, everybody ain't, let me just say this. Nobody's perfect, that's true. But when you take an oath to do something and you're not doing it, then you need to step down. And let somebody take your spot that actually cares about the people and about what happens to the people. Because I feel like if I'm in an accident, then you need to treat me just like if it was your mama or somebody in your family that was in an accident, and how you would feel if you was to pull up and saw that was your mama or your child, like that urgency, like let me do everything I can to make sure you're okay. You should, that's the energy that you should have with everyone. Like, it's the worst thing when you're in an accident or a situation and a police officer act like they don't even care. You know what I'm saying? That's just sad. It's just sad. And that's what's going on now. And I feel like just like it's going on in my hometown, it's going on in a lot of hometowns. This been going on. It is definitely some corruption in the justice system. Like I said, it's good and bad and everything. And I mean, I'm talking about police officers, but I'm talking about police officers. I'm talking about those over them, those over them, those over them. It go way up. It's corruption. It's everywhere. Like, but if you're to serve and protect, whether you know me or not, you're supposed to treat me like you know me. Treat me like I'm somebody that you know on a personal level. Because if it's somebody that you know on a personal level, you're going to give them that baby treatment. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you okay? You know what I'm saying, ma'am? You sure you don't want me to get you an ambulance? And I'm laughing because it's like, just talking about it, it's like, oh my goodness, it's just sad. And it's like, it shouldn't be this way. Literally, I don't even care what position you're in. If you're in a position of authority, no matter what the title, do your job. Because obviously you're not doing your job. Because if you weren't doing your job, me and many others wouldn't be complaining about the fact that you're not doing your job. And if you can't do it, and if you don't want to do it, and if you don't have the compassion to do it, hey, that's understandable. But then don't make us suffer. Step away. Because if I'm in an accident, or my child's in an accident, or my parents in an accident, or whomever's in an accident, I want somebody to come out there that actually is really trying to serve the people. That really has compassion for the people. That care about the people. That's just like if I have a child in the hospital or a parent in the hospital. I want the very best care. I don't want nobody in there trying to get a paycheck and just telling them anything. No, I want them to come in there and I want them to treat them like that person is in their family. Like, what would you do for your family if they were in here? It's the same thing. And I would hate to think that these certain individuals would actually treat their parents or their child or whomever the way that they've treated me and other people in these situations. I just don't feel that they would. And so, and what I mean is, I don't think that they would just ride by and not check on if they come down the street and see their parent hurt or a child or somebody they know, you already know what they're going to do. They're going to pull over. I don't care where they're going. They're going to pull over and they're going to see if they're okay. That's just a fact. Like, don't you? I'm just saying. So why wouldn't you do it if you just see an accident and you don't even have to know the person? Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? Isn't it something that's within you that makes you feel like, hey, I see a car hit let me just pull over for a second to make sure they're okay. You know, let me ask a couple of questions. I'm talking about this right here beyond like a uniform. This like compassion, empathy. And it's just like, obviously people running very low on that. And then had he passed by, because it only took him a split second just to ask me if I was okay. What if he just kept going by and then I actually died? Like, I'm just saying. He probably wouldn't have cared, because if he did, he would have stopped in the first place. But anyway. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to share that video, or share this video with you all. Like I said, I never talk about anything that I haven't gone through. This actually happened to me, and I actually have talked to people who have had run-ins with the police. The ones that obviously don't take their job seriously, that obviously aren't to serve and protect the people. Yeah, those ones. And I think it's I think it's widespread. I really do. I think like things like this happen all the time. And in my hometown, I feel like it happens a lot. I mean, but nobody knows. You don't really know something until you start talking to somebody. One thing I do understand, and one thing I do know or understand, that all of these things that's happening, like how people are speaking about, you know, the situations that they're having with these corrupt individuals, because they are corrupt. If you took an oath or you're sworn to do something and then you're not doing it, then you're corrupt. But yeah, like I said, it is this is from my perspective, and I never talk about anything that I haven't gone through. I actually have gone through this, and like I said, I've talked to people. Yeah, I've talked to people about this. I just feel like they need to do better. I don't know if they need some, I don't know what they need. Some counseling. It ain't for me. I don't know. But what I do know is they need to do better. And if they can't do no better, then they need to step down. But like I said, if you guys want to comment on this video, put your comment down there in the description box, or in the comment section. Excuse me. And if you like this video, give it a like. Share this video. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell when you want to be notified when I upload a new video. And thank you all for your support. And also, if you'd like to donate to this channel, the information is down in the description box. Thank you. Bye-bye.